Hey guys, welcome back. Digital Gate Studios. Guess who we have again? Basil, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm so excited you're here. What do you have for us today?
Well, we've got a new format, so we've got some new toys to play with. Unfortunately for me, not a lot of stuff I was looking forward to in this set.
Okay.
Not much for Blue Flare. Sakuyamon's not really my thing.
None of those are your decks.
You know, but one of my most played decks. You've seen the other two on the channel already. That's Bloomlord and Chaosdramon.
Yep.
But my third most played deck is Gaiomon. So we got a new level 6, and so now we can build an entire deck just around Gaiomon.
I love it.
So we're going to jump in. You've got two choices for eggs. I think they're both fine. I go with the DP Koromon.
Red base, God, I love it.
Yeah, red base Koromon, the DP, it's 1,000 on your turn. The reason I choose this over the draw Koromon is once we get out of the raising, we're pretty much gonna want to already have our pieces.
Got it, that makes perfect sense.
So we're not really looking to promote a Greymon and then swing to get more pieces in our hand. We have a lot of search in this deck. We'll get into a little bit later, but mainly we're looking to swing with our Gaiomon and live. And that's going to matter for a couple of other things a little bit later down the line, but we're looking for DP thresholds rather than cards in the hand. So we'll move on to the rookies. We've got 4 of the new Agumon.
Love that.
This is the new searcher, grabs a Greymon or an Omnimon and a tie.
Just when you thought Agumon didn't have enough searchers, there's another one.
There's another one. It goes for 0 on a Koromon, so we're never really evolving for 1.
Nice.
And we are playing, spoiler alert, 4 ties in this deck. So, and then the 1k DP inherited kind of pushes it over the edge compared to the BT5 Agu.
I love it.
Then we've got 3 of the promo Agumon.
There it is.
A little bit more DP.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only thing we're looking to do is once we get into Gaiomon, making sure we live. And so this is going to help against obviously hitting level 6s or 7s, which there are a lot of now.
Yeah.
As well as things like Wyvern's Breath. A lot of good yellow cards coming back into the mix. So we want to have that DP for when we attack. And the last 4 rookies in the deck, only going with 11, is 4 of the Agumon X antibody.
There it is.
Just another searcher, obviously, and then having an Agumon and then an Agumon X on top of it is going to matter for our level 4s we're going to get into. And obviously, another searcher is good. So then we're going to move into the level 4s, and this one is one that has only gotten good as of recently. And that's the EX1 Greymon.
Okay, I love that choice.
So the reason that we're doing this as a 3 of, we are playing the BT11 Greymon that plays a tie on Digivolve. But the reason we're playing this is because we're staying in the raising area a lot more.
Got it.
So we're not really wanting to promote an Agumon and play a Greymon. We're mainly wanting to promote, and then when we swing, that's when we play the tie.
I gotcha.
Of course, we are playing 2 of this Greymon anyway.
Oh, good.
Because there are situations where you like hard play an Agumon as a searcher, and then you find your tie and then play this to play it for free. It just comes up a little bit less than the EX1 Greymon in my experience. And then another 1k in the inherit is not going to hurt anybody. Then we'll move into our 1 of Greymon X, obviously.
Love that.
Restricted for a reason.
Yes, indeed.
And because this deck is only running Gaiomon as level 6, it is leaning more into the X antibody archetype.
Oh, okay.
So we're always gonna have an X antibody option at the ready to prevent those deletions and bouncings. And then, like I said, we are leaning more into the X antibody archetype. We've got 4 of the Greymon X, the old one. A lot of people would only run like a 3-in-1 split.
Okay.
Which makes sense because when you're able to play 4 of these, you would just play 4. But I'm going for 5 and 5 Greymons and Greymon X's because, like I said, this is a full X antibody deck. So we, with these cards, we feel good about leaning into that. And so that's why we're going 5 and 5 on the split. Then we'll move into the level 5s. We've got 2 of the new metal
there
gray.
It is.
So the the reason we're down on this compared to a lot of the War Greymon decks, they'll run just 4 and then 3 on the Metal X. The reason I only have 2 of these is because we're going to raid a lot less, and we're going to be playing their ties off of this Greymon a little bit more.
Yeah, the raid is a really nice mechanic, and I've been really liking it. But like the moment you just try to go full raid, your opponent just plays around it.
Yeah,
you know, it is a terrifying mechanic. Don't get me wrong, but it's easy to play around.
Yeah, the raid doesn't come up as much, but there is a neat little combo you can do with this. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then we've got 2 of the old BT8 Metalgreymon.
Yeah.
This is an insane card. Yeah. Digivolve 1, delete a Floodgate or cheap level 4, and then raiding over something is really strong in this deck because we're always going to have the DP to get over pretty much any Digimon.
That makes a lot of sense.
So they've got a Quartzmon on the field.
Yeah.
Promote up your stack and then raid over it with Gaiomon, and no longer an issue.
Boom.
So we've got our last level 5. That's 3 of the Metal X.
Ooh.
This is the one that went with the Black War Greymon.
Yep. Virus
stack.
one.
Yeah, the virus. This is Digivolve becoming a lot more prevalent with the Shadow Seraphi and other things like that. But also the reboot with the old Gaiomon is going to be trashing security. So that's something that this deck does incredibly well, is trashing security. In addition, it does a lot of security checks.
That's awesome.
But then it also trashes security. So not really a lot of ways to play around that in this deck. So just 7 on the level 5s, because that's all you really need. Then we'll move into the level 6s. This is the new Gaiomon.
Okay.
So if
what
you haven't
do you
read,
think of the new Gaiomon?
Well, I think that not a lot of people have read this card because I don't know why no one is talking about this card. Okay, let's just read it out.
Yeah.
First of all, it counts as a Greymon, which is important for all of our tribal needs. And then second, when digivolving, delete a Digimon with a play cost of 13 or more. But if you don't delete something, trash the security. So if they're into a level 6, delete it, or level 7, delete it. And if they're not, lose a security. Then, end of turn, digivolve into a Gaiomon with a play cost of 13 or more. So you can't slide Evo into itself.
Yeah. Yep.
You can only Evo into the old Gaiomon.
And I love that card. It's one of my favorites.
Right. So this, we all know, security attack +1, reboot, de-digivolve, and blitz.
Strong.
It just does everything.
It does everything.
So, a quick sidebar.
Yes.
This is part of this is the combo. You promote up your level 4 or 5, then you can either X antibody evolve into Metalgreymon, and then if you have the X antibody option, you can either raid with this and then digivolve into this, and then end of turn digivolve into this, or you can swing with this, X antibody digivolve into this, or not even swing and use X antibody.
Yeah.
Just digivolve into this, digivolve into that, end of turn digivolve into this, blitz for 2, reboot, trash 1. So basically, if you have a level 5 in raising, your opponent has 1 security, pretty much.
Jeez.
So seriously, I think people are sleeping on this card. It is.
So are you excited about the newest one? It's the Ito mode that's coming out in the next couple sets.
They're gonna keep printing Greymon support as long as this game exists.
Yeah, but I personally, out of all the War Greymon variants, the Gao has always been my favorite, and that's probably because of how attached I was to Dawn and Dusk as a kid.
It's a samurai,
and I remember having to fight him as a boss, and I'm grinding this entire game before you could just Google search how to get something how do I get this Gaomon? How do I get this Gaomon? So
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, please.
Moving right along, we do play level 7s in this deck. We've got 2 of the Omni X.
Makes so much sense.
So originally this would be a Blitz Omni and an Omni X, and I think that's a totally fine choice. But the only reason that we're going to 2 Omni X's is because when we search with the Agu X and the Agumon, we're pretty much always going to be wanting to grab Greymons. Not really wanting to grab Omnimons. And Omnimon X is searchable by Cool Boy.
So to me, and I really like this too because if the last combo that you talked about, where you get Digivolve up into the first Gaomon, the EX4 one, Then you blitz if you haven't used the X antibody, or if, you know, some combination, you keep digivolving up. Omnimon X again.
You could go from level 5 to level 7 in one turn.
Yeah, because you can, that X antibody option is not once per turn.
That's right. So that is it for the Digimon. So we'll move on now into the Tamers. We're running 4 of the black tie.
4, wow.
The black tie, this card is ridiculous because it frees up a level 4 spot.
Yep.
We don't have to play the blocker Greymon anymore. It gives it more DP, so not only does it have DP on your opponent's turn, it also has DP on your turn, and then it gives it blocker. And if we have the old Gaiomon, we have
with reboot.
So we're a reboot blocker that has levels of protection from deletion, is trashing security, and has 16k DP.
No big deal. No big deal.
So go figure.
And then also, you know, it reduces the Digivolution cost too. No big deal, right?
And that's the other thing is you can realistically with tie is go from a level 4 to a level 6.
Just boom.
Even though all the Digivolution costs are expensive. And then another way to reduce not reduce Digivolution costs, but make Digivolution cheaper is our Cool Boy. And so that's kind of the reason why we're leaning really heavy into the X antibody archetype. So that's with the 5 Greymon X's, the 3 metals.
I gotcha.
All of our level 6s are searchable by Cool Boy, and all of our level 7s.
I gotcha.
So this card is, I mean, we all know Cool Boy. You know, it costs 2 to play for some reason. But the other thing about that's interesting, if you promote a level 5 and then Digivolve into Gaiomon, your end of turn Digivolve into the other Gaiomon procs Cool Boy. So there is an instance where you could go into this Gaiomon, pass the turn, Cool Boy, keep it your turn, and then, you know, go into Omnimon or do whatever you need.
That's so cool.
So 8 Tamers that gain you 1 memory on a Digivolve is going to make our Digivolution line very cheap in this deck. Then our last X antibody piece is the option.
That makes perfect sense. You
gotta run 3 of them. You want to see it every game. You want to see it for the Greymon X, and you want to see it for your Digivolve from a level 5 into the Gaiomon. And then Hammer Spark out of security, you know.
It's a great card. It's a great card.
It's a good card. We all know that. And it wouldn't be an X antibody deck without 3 of the Hades Force.
Love it. I love
it. The Hades Force is going to be ruining all of the Hunters players' times, all of the security control players' times, anyone who wants to play a Tamer. And the other good thing about Hades Force is, so like I said, when you go from the Gaiomon to the Gaiomon, and then Cool Boy or tie back to your turn, then you can just pass it with Hades Force. And then it's like they have a reboot blocker in front of their face, and they don't have any board state, and they don't have any Tamers.
So like, what do I do now?
What do you do now? So this deck, we looked for consistency, not a lot of one-of, or no one-of, well, one-ofs. Only one-of, but a lot of the cards you want to see every game, and it just gets you up into that level 6 as fast as you can.
I love it. That makes so much sense. Well, guys, thank you so much. First of all, everybody jump in the comments. Let us know if you want to see Basil here more on the channel. I'm a huge Gaiomon fan. Thank you so much. Like, this is for me, I think, that you built this, so I'm super excited about this. Everybody stay tuned. We got more EX4 stuff on the way. If you haven't watched our case opening, jump back a couple videos. Go watch that. You're going to love it. Pulled some of these awesome cards. And stay tuned. We got Alliance. We got Blue Flare. We got all of the goodness coming your way. Thank you so much. Bye.